Yeah, I don't think my necro is strong enough. I was like, we're not using... Also, I kind of like this look, but it's all tree. That's the only downside of it. Like, once we find a different shield, I don't know what we're going to be able to do here. I think I want to make a second necro at some point. Because, like, this guy's all damage with his warrior minions, and I want to make one that's all tank with warrior minions. You know what I mean? Because, like, this guy, his warrior minions do die fairly quickly. Right now I'm running into a thing as well where, like, I don't want to get rid of items, so, like, my inventory is starting to get clogged up.
Speak up. Do not wander.
Hmm? No need to rush.
"16 life per enemy killed." That's kind of crazy. Like, that's wild. See, there's a lot of, like, medium tier armor that has thorns. Which makes me wonder, like, maybe thorns is meant to be... Leech 3.85% of physical attack damage is life. See, a lot of, like, the gloves and armors that have, like, thorns and cool effects like this are, like, light or medium armor.
Goodbye.
I don't even remember what I was doing over here on this character. See, like these two, I probably don't need. Even though they were good weapons. And then these I've been holding on to, but they don't have enough spirit, so I don't think I really... Neither of them are as good as the other scepter that I've had since level 3. I don't think. This has a lot of spirit, 34% increased damage for allies in range, and it gives them additional attack damage and minion skill. This gives them more health, which would make them, I mean, it would make them tankier. And they would explode potentially. And then this one, they deal 8 additional attack physical damage and then 8 additional cold attack damage.
Speak up.
I don't know, I think I kind of forgot about these sort of games over the years. But I think I'm a big fan of these. Not so much like the ARPG thing, but like seeing these games, Guild Wars 1 was more like this than it is like an MMO. It was like a top-down, cut your way through enemies, but it was like difficult, where like you had to take your time and like, you know, break through stuff, and you had a ton of build combinations. But it had really balanced PvP. Fight your way to Jamora, the Abdominal Throne. Travel to Deshar. I feel like I should do the trials repeatedly for items at this phase. See, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here.
The time has come for a final confrontation. We must attack the dreadnought.
Oh, fuck. Let's see if this extra spirit helped us any. The thing is, right now, is we don't have our explosion damage on our warrior. We need to fix that. Or no, we don't have the health. problem is that if we put the the health on these guys, it it throws off the phase. We have the phase on these. We only have 2 of these though. But basically, if you put the health on all your warriors and they die, they end up not dying before these phase warriors do. And if these phase warriors survive longer than the other ones, then they'll activate that for 4 seconds and still be, you would still have a line of warriors for a while. Do we care about the bleed? Because I don't know if this is, does it just inflict bleed once, or is this a series of bleed? You know? Like, are we getting 10 bleed, or are we getting...
Protection!
Also keep thinking about this. Our stone shield. We're using this. They deal 50% less damage with hits. But it's in a circle. The thing is like, I like the circle because it gives us 2 walls in between us and a target. But we could have increased the range and distance and damage and keep it in a straight line. There's some mobs that just run straight through a single wall, though. I don't know how to improve, like, I think I should just improve the damage instead of trying to double up the layers, though. Because, like, what this is doing right now is my wall is protecting me, and the skeletons are protecting me. And when they fight the skeletons near the wall ends up exploding, and it does AoE damage.
Face me!
And then when the skeletons explode, they deal damage to the wall, and it does AoE damage. See, like, if we use a circle, it's that. If we don't use a circle, it does that. And I think the flat wall is kind of more useful, but it has these sections that they just break through instantaneously sometimes. I think we want more explosion damage.
None shall pass.
And the archers also damage our wall, which is a problem. See, like this right there, it's already breaking. I don't know. The extra defense, it's like it's 50% less damage, but you're getting twice as much wall, sort of. I don't know how much extra wall you're getting. But see like how quickly those get destroyed? Like it's already took a chunk out of that. So if you have like a big creature, one singular wall just doesn't do enough. It mostly just saves you time, though. It's also that you can, like, trap things inside of the wall. Like, you can put the wall around them, which is kind of nice.
None shall pass.
But this is where I think people use the skeleton warriors wrong. Because they go right through this. So we got a yellow mob there. And see, those guys, they can like aggro you, but if you're behind a wall, a lot of the times they don't actually see you. They don't care about you. Now he sees me. That's what I keep, like, I'm trying to tell people, like, well, one, like, the firewalls. What's up, Tess? You still being a, You still doing piloting, like training and shit? Oh yeah, what are you playing? I got like 6 characters right now, to be honest.
Face me!
I haven't went through part 2 yet. I've been playing part 1 so much. I wish Comet build. See, that's interesting. I wish that these guys these guys and the Baldur's Gate guys, if they got together, they could make one hell of a game, because the one thing that killed me in Baldur's Gate was the turn, like taking turn combat stuff. But I could play their starting storyline. It was like 35 times before I started kind of getting like tired of it. Path of Exiles 2, I kind of started to like get burnt out on the main storyline pretty quick, but after you get into more characters, it's a little bit more interesting. Yeah, I haven't even got that high yet, man. I've like 30, like level 30, 40 is probably about the highest I've got on my characters. But I'm trying to make builds that other people don't make. Like this necromancer is using warrior skeletons, and nobody uses warrior skeletons because they say that they're ass. And then I have 2 mercenaries. Yeah, 2 mercenaries, I think. I'm trying to make some different thorns builds. And I think the mercenary with thorns could potentially be good, but I also have like 2 warriors that I'm trying to make. Do you use the trading post to buy your gear? Yeah, I don't use the trading post. That's part of my problem. But well, I think that people use thorns wrong is what's going on.
Steel yourself!
I don't know. I'm split on thorns because I'm not entirely sure on it. Part of me, because people who make thorns builds, they just want to make themselves extremely tanky and then get hit and kill them with the thorns damage. Well, I mean, I think there's ways that you could make tanky work, but because like there's skills that like take totems. Totems take 20% of the damage that you take from hits. So like you could do like percentage reductions in damage that you would take. Because you can summon totems like crazy. So yeah, but I think you need like, when I'm saying tanky, I'm not saying just armor. You need like percentage reductions, and you probably need um some different defenses to it. But like, hold on, let me there's some stuff in here. um so like a lot of people, when they're building thorns, like they go into armor and they go straight into armor and shit. But like I'm looking at these trait lines, there's quite a few of them that do stuff like you have this, physical damage prevented, recouped his life, right? And then you have like when you block, you gain 20 life. And there's a lot of things that like when you block or whatever, it gives you like you could be making like 40, 50 life or whatever in a block, but people stack a bunch of armor and they want to get hit. I don't think that you want to get hit with thorns. You need to use it as like a supplemental damage where like it's a damage over time effect. So if you're melee attacking somebody, it's additional damage that you could happen. So if you are going to get hit, you should get a benefit from it. So like you could passively, like you could be having a effect that allows you to block while you're attacking, and then you just get additional health for attacking and additional damage for getting hit. But like evasion and stuff, because like my first character that I made, I had like half evasion, half armor, and it was doing better than a full armor build because he was basically avoiding half of the damage, and then the other half he was getting hit with, and it was reflecting the damage back. But then you have things like this over here. So this right here, I don't know if this works. There's a lot of things I don't know how all the stuff works because I'm not good with Path of Exiles. I've never played it. But you have like Life Leech, which says that it procs on hit. Wherever the hell it is. I mean, there's a bunch of it. There's Life Leech around somewhere. I know there's one down here. I like how I can find this shit the other day, and then now I no idea where it's at anymore. Anyway, they have like but that's why that's what I'm saying. Like I think when you tank, you need every stat, not just armor. Like so when you block with a shield, your energy shield can recharge. So it's kind of like if you're gonna block with your shield, you have to like make a choice because like I'm only in the early levels, but like if I have energy shield on my character, like my necromancer does, and this energy shield disappears, and then I block, all the damage goes to the block, and my energy shield comes back. And then you have things that turn like I have a shield or whatever that turns your block chance into like elemental resistances. But there's like things that boost your elemental resistance. And then there's things like this, which I don't know if this affects it or not, but 8% increased knockback distance. 20% increased knockback distance, 20% chance to knock enemies back with hits at close range. So any damage that isn't damage over time is hit damage. So if I had thorns and someone hit me, then there would be like a 20% chance to throw them off of me, which then basically it would turn thorns into a it's like taking time away from the enemy. They have to constantly walk back towards you, so you wouldn't be getting hit all the time. So let's say if you had like 50% evasion, you have 20 enemies coming at you, 10 of them are going to miss. The other 10 are going to hit you and take damage, but they're going to get pushed back, and then they take 2 seconds to walk towards you. So you're reducing the total amount of damage that you'd be taking over the period of time, I think is what I'm trying to think about doing. And then you have like Leech and that other stuff. Oh, here's Leech. I don't know how Leech works, but 20% amount of life leeched, 40% increased armor and evasion rating while leeching. So when you deal damage from a hit, Leech causes you to recover amount of the stated resource equal to the percentage of damage you dealt to monsters. So it's like if they hit you and Leech was procced with thorns, then you'd be able to leech some health off of them. But the reason I'm trying with mercenaries right now Well, it says from a hit. So it only works with attacks. Yeah, but thorns, um, you deal your thorns damage to enemies that hit you with melee. Well, that's not. Did they change the wording of thorns? Hold on. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that thorns, it hits. It's. Okay, hit. Any damage that isn't damage over time is hit damage. I feel like thorns, like the definition that they give of hit damage, I feel like thorns would fit into that. It's not damage over time. You get hit, thorns procs, it deals damage back. It might not leech a whole lot, though. I mean, it might leech a little bit. I don't know how much it would actually help. But um, there's two things that I'm kind of curious about right now. So the warrior has a thing that you can break armor that is you can break under armor under 0. But I tried something on one of my warriors or my mercenary or something the other day because my idea was you get the shield, the resonating shield skill, and you put poison on it, and then you put the poison breaks extra armor thing on there. But when I used that, it didn't work for some reason. So the poison that you apply with the resonating shield doesn't double the reduction of armor. But if you have a bow and arrow, because I have a mercenary it's basically a bow and arrow mercenary, but also uses melee attacks, it uses poison arrow, and the poison arrow will break all their armor way quicker than resonating shield does. So I might have to put a bow on my warrior, shoot the poison arrows out, break their armor, and then swap over to my shield and see how much damage increase you get for that. But the Witch Hunter for Mercenary is what got me interested in a little bit because I don't know how to use the weapon set points yet, but you get Culling Strike apparently. So kills normal enemies if their life is at 30% or below. Magic enemies are instead killed at 20%, rare at 10%, and unique at 5%. And these are checked before the damage of the hit is applied. So if this works out correctly, then if you use a Witch Hunter and you use the thorns with it, and they go to attack you, then uh, they would get cold and die before they actually hit you. Um, which I think would be pretty good because like it's because you basically just need to get like with normal mobs you just need to get them down to 30%, and then you have decimating strike. Hits against full life enemies remove between 5% and 30% life before the damage of the hit is applied. So if they attack you and you're able to put thorns on it, I mean, there's traits and stuff that you can get that boost your traits. There's like I think there's skill gems that boost your traits. Um, like the jewel sockets or whatever that will boost your thorn damage. But my thing is like a lot like people were saying the legionnaire would be better potentially because the legionnaire gets like bonuses to it's able to have like more jewel sockets or something. I don't know, whatever it's called. 10% quality of skills. Armors gain 1% more defense per quality. Flask gain 1%. Like, this could be good. I mean, 10% more quality. Skill gems or equipment that grant a specific bonus to their skill based on their quality. So, the quality might boost thorn damage. That would be interesting. +1 level to all skills. Why isn't it letting me? It's not letting me. Okay. 30% less cost of skills. Skill gems have 30% more attribute requirements. 3 additional skill slots. I already have a hard enough time using the skill slots they give us now, to be honest. You can use 2 copies of the same support gem in different skills. That could be useful. Oh, this is kind of... I didn't realize this. This is kind of big. 1% to maximum cold resistance per 4 blue support gem sockets. So every... What's a support gem? In order to modify the effects of that skill, they only apply to the skill gem they're socketed into. So you get resistances based off of the colors of your gems. It's interesting because there's a few areas that you can get these bonuses to elemental damages, these maximum resistances. And in the mercenary, like the mercenary side on the bottom towards the warrior side, there's 2 spots that you can grab like 3% on both of those. So you could get like 6% additional bonus there. And then this would be, I don't know how much, like maybe you could get like 2 or 3% on this. So you get like an extra 10% elemental resistance would be really good. Maybe. But that shield that I found turns your block chance into elemental resistance as well. So if you could have a shield like that, or you just have your, resistances maxed out, that'd be pretty good. Like being able, because like armor goes up into like 90% damage reduction, I think. So if you could have 90% elemental reduction and 90% armor reduction, that's pretty big. But I don't know if I like this class as much because I don't understand this class as much. See, this would be pretty good as well, like attribute requirements of gems satisfied by your highest attribute. So you could put all of your points into like health or something and not have to worry. That could be good as well. Inherited bonuses from intelligence, strength, and dexterity are doubled. So you're saying that you can get twice as much health? I don't know. The Legionnaire is kind of I might have to make one witch hunter and one legionnaire. I have 2 mercenaries, so yeah. But there's like in the path that I'm thinking of using for the witch hunter, there's points that I can get like traits on there that'll give me like 25 strength, like 8 or 25 strength per thing that I get. Which 25 would be like 100 and something. I don't know what like a good HP pool is. I don't think that you want to go fully into just HP though. Because I'm really thinking that you need to split your defenses up because like the energy shield, like right now, like my energy shield isn't very big. I don't have a source for energy shield though. That's my problem. But there's a lot of times where like when your shield goes, like you get into combat, you get hit, your energy shield drops. You pop up your shield, and the thorn damage is just kind of applying some extra damage while you're regening your health, and then your energy shield goes back up. But you can double. There's like a trait somewhere too that I don't remember where it is, or actually I might remember where it is. Oh, my game's gonna crash. Oh, maybe not. There's something somewhere. Excess life recovery from regeneration is applied to energy shield. I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff like this. The thing is with me is like that shield that I found, it that shield that I had found, it doesn't let you block, but it turns your block chance into elemental resistances. And I'm split on using that shield because I don't know, because there's like weird stuff like if you can't block, do like you don't gain damage bonuses like this to your thorns. And then there's things that are like your base shield block chance goes up to 40%. So I don't know if that would give you 40% elemental resistances early or not. Well, that shield that I forget what it's called. It's a very early game shield though. Well, that shield doesn't have block chance. Like it takes your block chance away and it turns it into elemental resistance. So all your block chance just goes to 0. Um but there's traits that like it's like the base block chance of a shield that you have equipped is like 40%. So I don't know if it gets applied to that shield or does it instantly get turned into elemental resistance. And then there's like some things that's like it says that you can't block. So if I use resonating shield, I tested that, it doesn't block with resonating shield. But if you have a passive trait that says that you block attacks automatically without having to block, like I don't think any of those would apply either, so it's kind of. But I might have to make a legionnaire just to see what this does. Doubling your strength and dexterity and stuff could be crazy. Also doubling intelligence if you needed, because that opens up a lot of, but the thing is it's doubling that, but you can use gems with your highest trait, so like just putting everything into one thing seems like it'd be crazy. I would have to spend a lot of money building that though. I'm because I don't know how much strength and how much dexterity you would need. But I know like my one warrior when he was going all strength, I mean, he got like I don't know, like a couple hundred health from strength. It wasn't that crazy. So like doubling it, well, like what are you gonna get? Like 500 health? I mean, it's not doesn't seem that big. But the witch hunter, um, basically I'm thinking here is that like hits against full life enemies remove between 5 and 30% of their life before damage of the hit is applied. So if you have thorns and you go into combat and they attack you, the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to trigger your thorns and well they're going to trigger decimating strike, lose between 5 and 30% of their life. Then your thorns is going to trigger and hit them for however much damage. So there's just going to be massive life loss there. And then if they're a normal enemy or anything like that, Culling Strike, as soon as they get down to 30%, they're just going to die. And then any rare or whatever would just die at 20%. So you only have, like, for normal mobs, you're only going to have to deal with, like, I don't know, like 60 to 30%, like 30 to 60% of their total life total is all you're going to have to deal with your thorn damage, which to me sounds good. And then when they die, oh, also they have this. So I don't know exactly because like I feel like the warrior skill tree might be better at this because I feel like it might have more damage, but enemies have maximum concentration up to 40% of their maximum life. Break enemy concentration on hit equal to 100% of damage dealt. So if thorns can break the enemy's concentration, enemies regain 10% of concentration every second that they haven't lost concentration in the past 5 seconds. If they're hitting you, the thorn should hit them back and then they would be losing concentration, and so concentration, enemies have less cooldown recovery rate the lower their concentration, scaling down to 50% of cooldown rate. So my thinking, and there's also a skill tree in the game somewhere down in here. I don't know exactly where it is. It's somewhere in here though. Oh, right here. So 10% increased cooldown recovery rate. Enemies in your presence have 10% reduced cooldown recovery rate. So I'm thinking these make my recovery rate faster, but this one means that we could boost another 10% on that 40% for the witch. And my understanding here is that concentration reduces your cooldown recovery. So if we can get 50% slower cooldown recovery on the NPCs attacking us with thorns, then they're not going to be able to use their spells. So then they're going to be forced to use their melee attacks, which would then trigger thorns. Like, you see where I'm going? Like, if we can slow it down to where they can't cast their spells as often, we don't have to dodge the spells as often, and then they have to auto attack, which then we can apply thorns to, which thorns would then be a hit, which would then lower their concentration, and then I think we get a bonus to damage or something based off this. Anyway, it's 40% of their max life anyway. So I don't know if Decimating Strike or anything like that applies, but if they hit us, they would trigger Decimating Strike, which would do 5 to 30% of their health. So you're going to be getting 5 to 30% of their life value on the first bit, I would think. And then deal up to 30% more damage to enemies based on their concentration. So we're getting a 30% damage bonus potentially here. But I don't know how, because like the warriors get access to breaking armor. They can break armor under 0, which would also be a damage bonus. Which I don't know what, like how much thing that would be. But then also the witches get this, which gives you 50% less armor and evasion rating, but you get sorcery ward, which passively manifests a protective barrier which takes elemental damage from hits for you until depleted. The barrier instantly recharges to its full value a short time after it stops taking damage or is fully depleted, and the barrier recharges in 8.1 seconds, but there's a passive thing that boosts your recovery rate um, for this in half or whatever, so it'd be like 4 seconds. So if you were getting into combat and you got attacked with elemental damages, before you even took damage, your shield would be taking the damage, and then all you'd have to do after that is dodge it or block for like 4 seconds and get your shield back. And it says that it recharges when it's fully depleted, so my thinking is that even if you're taking damage, it's going to come back. So like every 4 seconds you're going to get your shield back, which would basically buffer your HP from elemental damage. And if you have energy shield on top of that, your block and your elemental shield would block you from damage, so that your energy shield could recharge. Barrier can take elemental damage up to 30% of your armor and evasion rating. So with this, you'd probably want high dex, or maybe not. You might want high dexterity, and you might want high health. I don't know. We don't get double. I wish you could combine this with Legionnaire. If you could get like double your attribute values, this would be great. But losing 30% of your evasion rating, I think 50% evasion rating is probably the go-to. So you get to like 100% evasion rating, and then you drop it back down to 50. I think that's probably what I would do. Like 50% chance to dodge an attack plus, 100% chance to block an attack, I think is perfectly fine. So that'd be cool. 50% increased effective sorcery ward. Sorcery ward recovers 50% faster. So that would get it to 40. It would get you to 40 or 4 seconds, maybe. And then sorcery ward. This is for 30% of your armor and evasion rating. So if it's 50% bonus to that, you're looking at like 45% of your armor and evasion rating as a barrier, which would be very good. And then 10% chance for enemies you kill to explode, dealing 100% of their maximum life as physical damage. Chances doubled against undead and demons, which I'm split on this because the warriors have a war cry ability which blows up dead bodies around them and deals 25% of those mobs damage around them. But with the witch hunter, you're going to have a 10% chance for an enemy to kill 100 or do 100% of their damage. So like if you get attacked, let's say there's a rare enemy, you have a rare enemy, a couple of blue enemies, and then like 10 of the normal mobs, and then you go into combat and then they hit you, they're going to be taking decimating strike or whatever, losing 5 to 30% of their health. Then they're going to be taking your damage over time effects and your thorn effects, and then they're going to get cold when they get to 30%, and then all of the normal mobs will then explode and deal 100% of their life damage in an area around you, around the main boss that you're fighting. So then the boss is going to be taking the decimating strike, your thorn damage, your damage over time effects, all of the explosions from the dead bodies, and then you have war cry that you could use on your character, which when things die, they explode and they deal, however much damage when they explode. So you'd have a massive explosion of AoE damage around you. And then you just have to fight that main boss. Get rid of all the trash mobs and it's 1v1 main boss. "100% of mobs' life is better." Yeah, see, that would be pretty good. But my thinking was that, if you teamed up with people, they'd probably get pissed off if you were, like, killing all their dead bodies that they would use for their skills. But that's why I'm trying to make a witch, I have 2 mercenaries right now, and I was gonna go both into Witch Hunter because one of them, basically one mercenary is using basically a bow. He's just like an archer, but he also uses shield bash and that uppercut mace skill. So like I poison people, I break their armor, and he has a lot of lightning damage, so he stacks up electrocute and stuff. My thinking with him is that if you proc electricity or shock on enemies, that's 20% bonus damage, which would also apply to thorns. Um, but the thing is with him is that I don't really use my shield that much. I use his bow all the fucking time. And then I occasionally swap over to my shield and like shield bash people. And then the other mercenary that I got, I've been avoiding using the bow, and all I've been using on him is shield bash, war cry, the uppercut skill, and then he has like 4 open abilities that I don't use, which I would use for the bow and arrow. Um, but I don't know how to I don't know how to balance out like using the bow and arrow and stuff. But I think this is going to be good. My understanding is that monster damage does increase more than their health does in game though. But I don't know. Cuz I'm thinking like if I'm giving half of my evasion to elemental, like an elemental shield, basically whatever my evasion rating is or whatever, and my armor or my evasion or my armor, whatever's higher, actually barrier can take elemental damage up to 30% of your armor and evasion rating. So if you have high armor and you have high evasion rating, it's getting 30% of both. Or no, it takes 50%. So you're losing 50% of your armor and evasion rating. But you're going to be gaining 45% of that for an elemental shield. If you're completely immune to elemental damage while that shield is up, I wonder if your elemental resistances apply to the shield. Is the shield stronger if my elemental resistances are stronger? Because that would be good to know. But just regening that every 4 seconds is going to be... Like, you go into combat, and I have that shield that I can put on my character that boosts my elemental resistances, but I can't block. Okay, so that could be good. Because that shield that I have, it turns any block chance into elemental resistance. And ideally, my thing is like you can only go up to like 75% resistance though. But down here you have... There's a couple of different spots. One of them's like right here. Maybe not. I got too much crap going on in this game that I just can't. I got like 6 characters and I can't focus. Oh, the other thing is, I don't know about this, but so every time that I see somebody make a Thorns build, they're going and they're taking like these 40% increased Thorn damage. They're doing stuff like that, but I haven't seen them apply shock to people to boost their Thorn damage or anything like that. But then there's a lot of things that proc, or there's a lot of things that are like on these trees that are like this. 30% increased damage with hits against enemies that are low life. 120, so like this right here, 3 skills, 30, 60, 220% increased damage with hits against enemy with low life. 5% increased damage while, on low life. But low life is 35% of its maximum health or less. So any normal mob that attacks you is going to basically explode anyway at 35% with culling. But if I get a bunch of these trees, I could be doing, 600+% extra damage to enemies that are low life. And anything that's not a normal mob would be, taking a good bit. Five, 105. Well, I mean, this, like, I don't know how much the Thorns does. Like, let's say Thorns does 100 damage. And, like, just with this, you'd have 16, 32, 72 increased Thorn damage. So you'd have 72 extra Thorn damage here for, like, the middle section of their health bar. But if you got them on low health, 220%, you're, like, what is that, like, what, 300 damage? I don't have a full armor set yet. Well, you have uh the basic thing is scavenge plating. You break enemy armor, you get up to like 10 stacks. It gives you extra armor and extra thorns. And with sorcery ward, the extra armor should give you extra elemental thorn damage. My problem is that my first mercenary that I put, he's using Herald of Thunder, which uses 30 spirit, and the other one requires 30 spirit as well. Should be scavenge plating. That's gonna be my basic thing. My problem is I need a way to break armor without having to sit there and break armor. I think it's Kingsguard. I need more spirit on my other character. So Kingsguard is the melee focused one, and the Steel Knight is the archery focused one. Yeah, if you're only using that. I mean, this guy right now, he has 7 thorn damage on the shield, 11 on the armor. So you're looking at like 18. I don't know what all gives you thorn damage. Like if there's a shield or anything else that gives you thorn damage. I also don't know if gain 2 life per enemy hit. Oh, that's with attacks, so that doesn't apply. But so I mean, but that's like 18, and then we have scavenge plating. Bolster your own fully breaking an enemy armor grants you a stack of scavenge plating for duration. So you gain 3% more armor per scavenge plating, which is going to give you, so you can get 10, I believe. Maximum, I think you can increase the amount of scavenge platings that you can get as well. I think there's something that increases it. Well, thing is, like, how much damage does, like, bleeding and poison do? Because I'm not making a build that's only going to be thorn damage. I'm stacking it, like, I'm going to stack it with damage over time effects. I'm pretty sure you can increase the amount of scavenge plating you can get. But, like just thinking about this, you get 10%, or you get 10 scavenge plating. You're getting 3% more armor per scavenge plating. So, 30% more armor. And then half of that is going to be going to your elemental protection shield. Ideally. So, like, you're getting 30% more armor, you're getting 15% more elemental shield. The thorn damage with your armor is probably going to be somewhere around 100. But yeah. I think it's just like I don't even know how I'm gonna like make the build. I need to use a build app to like figure out the full build, but I'm not a professional PoE player. But my thinking is, I go into combat right now. See, like what I try to do right now is I had resonating shield, which does AOE damage, but it's only like 6 to 8 physical damage per 15 armor on shield. There's traits that I can get in the stat line that increase your shield's defensive ability, like your defensive stats on your shield, which might increase the damage on this. What does it say? 13 to 19 base offhand physical damage. I don't know what that means. But hits break 21 armor. And then I tried to make it to where in Venom, support skills that hit enemies give it a chance to inflict poison. 50% chance. And then I gave it poison applied by supporting skills also breaks armor equal to 80% of poison damage dealt. But with this skill, this poison isn't doing shit. And then this isn't really working. Well, there's a website, but I don't think all the skills were right when I was using it. But my thing is right now is Resonating Shield is not proccing. It's not proccing it's not breaking armor, so I don't know. And with Scavenge Plating, I'm kind of curious about this, because if Scavenge Plating could use Envenom to the thorns apply poison, and then that poison breaks armor, and then I could make a loop that would continuously keep Scavenge Plating up, so I don't have to sit there and break armor all the time, that'd be fucking great. But, right now it's looking like I need to use a bow. And my other character uses a bow. But I have problems with the bow skills because it takes up so much slot. So like right here I got Mace Strike, Bone Shatter, Resonating Shield instead of a normal block. And then I got Shield Charge and Infernal Cry. And all I've been doing is Infernal Crying and Shield Charging people and then stunning them. So I would have room to do the 2 electricity damage things that are on the bow, and then the poison arrow, potentially. But the poison arrow is actually really fucking good. Because unlike Resonating Shield, the poison thing actually works on poison arrow. For some reason. Well, I mean, it's a poison arrow, so. The only problem with the poison arrow, the new one that I have, is that it's AoE, and it's there for a while, but on this boss fight, the gas arrow explodes because of the fire, so you can't stack the poison.
I was mortal then.
But
I was weak.
you can see like how fast this stacks up.
Why did you never come look my king nears?
See, his armor's already broken. See, but now it's catching on fire, so I can't. This build is not good at fighting this guy, I'll tell you that right now. It's not strong enough yet. Fucking... Alright. But yeah, my thinking is, well, it's just that the poison gas doesn't work on them. No, I can clear. The thing is that like I came in here with my same
I
gear
was
that I used
mortal
in Act
then.
1, and I
I was
didn't level up a
weak.
whole lot and all that. So I mainly just need to swap out this poison arrow. But my thing is like
They told me you
on
had
this
died.
guy, you see, like I'm using lightning arrow and the lightning rod, which is like my main AOE damage, which works really good. And then electrocuting arrow is kind of just an escape skill that, can proc electrocution. I don't really need it. It doesn't work that
Don't
much.
ever
But
let your
poison
friends speak.
gas is breaking armor really fucking quick. And so like with scavenge plating, I'm thinking what I could do is have a bow and I could basically cut out electrocution arrow on my other character and cut out these bow shots. And then when you go into combat, just shoot the gas arrows into the mob, and then maybe shoot some lightning arrows into the mob, and then just bum rush them with your melee weapon. Well, but that's my problem right now is that like I can use thorns with a bow, but like I want to use melee weapons, but like I don't have any need for any of the melee skills. Because like resonating shield is okay, but it isn't doing a whole lot for me. Like it doesn't. It adds AOE damage if you want to block, so it's better than a normal block. But like the armor break, the poison arrow will do. I don't need the perfect strike or anything. I don't need the armor breaker. I don't want to use shockwave totems and shit. I'm using Infernal Cry and Shield Charge on my other character as like my main damage, and then I have Bone Shatter for stuns because it heavy stuns. But if I'm using a bow with thorns and I'm in in-game content, basically all it would be is me walking up with a bow and arrow, shooting poison gas on the ground, and then shooting a bunch of electric arrows and shooting them with electric arrows until they close the distance on me, and then swapping over to my shield. Maybe. I need to apply electrocute on stuff anyway, so it's kind of... My thing is I'm starting to spread my stuff too much because my thing is like I'm seeing increased chance to inflict ailments all the way down through here, and then I've lined it up to where I can get all of these bleeding increases and bleeding damage modifiers. Bleeding and bleeding damage modifiers, bleeding and bleeding damage modifiers. And then next to these, you have this stuff. Well, this is the lightning damage one, but they have stuff like 30% increased chance to shock, damage penetrates 15% of lightning resistances. ,25% increased chance to shock. 15% chance to shock. Shocking hits have 50% chance to also shock enemies within 1.5 meter radius. 50% increased electrocute buildup against shocked enemies. 50% chance or shock chance against electrocuted. Yeah, but the search bar doesn't work on here. See? Oh, maybe it does. Okay. But my thing is, there's a whole lot of stuff over here that I don't know how far over I can actually get, is my thinking. Because I could come all the way over here. I don't know how much shock buildup I need, is the main thing. Because I only want the shock so that it applies 20% bonus damage. And then there's things that increase the magnitude of non-damaging ailments you inflict, which would be shock, which would increase the total. It'd be a damage bonus. See, 40% increased electrocute buildup, 30% increased shock chance against electrocuted enemies. This one's not so good, but it's on the tree that I'm already at. I just don't know how many stat points I'm going to have. Two nodes for 40%, so we just need 100%. I don't necessarily need 100% though. I need, where's that thing I was just looking at? %50 increased shock duration is kind of crazy. Magnitude of shock. So like this one would be really good. 30% increased magnitude of shock would be a 30%. Well, no, because it's 30% of 20%. This is like a 60%, 75% increased magnitude here. Which would be, it'd basically bring it up to like 35% damage. I don't know if that's worth it. This right here is probably the one that I want. Shocking hits have 50% chance to also shock enemies. %20 increased damage lasts 4 seconds. So that's a 15% increase to shock. See, this is so increased electrocute buildup against shocked enemies. I'm not sure about because I haven't been able to electrocute that many enemies very often. But I could get this, which isn't too far away, and this. So this is 40% increased electrocute buildup. Increased shock chance against electrocuted enemies. 15%, 15%, 15%. So 45, 85% electrocute buildup. So that's 100% electrocute buildup. So I get 100% electrocute buildup and 50% increased electrocute buildup against shocked enemies. Well, I don't care about electrocuting. I'm trying to spread the shock. So my question is, do they have to actually be 100% electrocuted, or is the electrocute element? If there's gear that could apply shock in an AoE or electrocute in an AoE, that would probably be my best bet. Like if there's boots or something that electrocuted enemies around you, that would be probably the best thing I could have. Because then I could get these two trees, have the gear apply the electrocute, and then the electrocute would apply the shock to the enemies around me, which would then boost my thorn damage. And then when enemies are electrocuted, they won't be hitting me, which lets me regen my health. Which would be nice. But we also have all this, so like we have a ton of bleed that I'm going into. And I don't know if I need to go into bleed. It's just bleed is the only damage that I have access to right now. And I need damage to clear these bosses. We're going to have a shit ton of bleed. But this is also bleeding on hit. And any damage over time is hit damage. I don't know if it applies on thorns, though. It probably doesn't. It probably does suck. I'm just... My thinking right now is you apply poison and bleed together with thorns. And together their damage will be better than when they were apart. And then I want to grab things that boost my damage, like total, like this, 25% increased physical damage. So it'll boost my melee attack, which will also boost my bleed, and it'll boost my thorn damage. But there's like things with poison that are over here too that I kind of... I know there's poison over here. I think this thing's broken. Any case. But my thinking isn't like, I'm not trying to DPS like race the boss. Because like people who play Thorn's characters, they like just sitting there and getting hit and like slowly killing shit. Which is fine. I don't want to just be getting hit. I basically want to make a character that is able to like walk into a horde of enemies and he does damage, like he will kill them, but basically they just aren't able to actually do a whole lot against them. Like they're just gonna slowly die off and I don't have to do a whole lot. Because like if I can find a way to get electrocute buildup on people, like say these minions are like mobs against me, and I've applied poison, so like I've shot poison into the group, all of their armor breaks. I have a bunch of armor plating and shit. I have an elemental shield. They hit me, they lose, you know, 5 to 30% of their life. They're taking poison damage, they're taking bleed damage, they are taking, they have reduced skill cooldowns so that they can't use their skills on rotation like they want. They're auto-attacking me, taking thorn damage, and then if I can proc like electrocute and shock build up in here, and they start getting electrocuted, I can just sit there and just keep applying my damage over time effects. And they all die. And then when they die, they'll explode, because I'll have things like Infernal Cry, which right now is doing 25% damage as fire damage. It does combust. Enemy's corpse violently explodes, dealing fire damage in the area around it. So it's doing 25 fire damage, 10% more fire damage per 1 power of exploding corpse. Interesting. This is also 1.6 meters. So that's interesting. But you got to understand my mindset with like a lot of games like these. Everybody and their mom, they copy and paste the same builds, and they use like, they go for the highest DPS. That's what they do. And then they have like specialized builds for every area. And I'm more of like, I'm in between the middle of like competitive and like casual players. And that's where I always like staying. So I like just being able to do the content without having to stress out over anything. And then go like just have one build for everything. That's what I do. And like MMOs and every game that I've ever played, basically I go into PvP and my rule has always been I make builds that can fight 2 high-end PvP builds and not die, and have enough damage to kill a high-end PvP player if I make the right decisions. And that's always worked out well for me. So I'm very defense focused for the most part. And those builds usually, like, you can do PvE and everything else with them. And I have absolutely ruined people in MMO games just because of that. Like, it's well, I don't know until I end up building the build. That's my thing. Is I don't know how I don't know how good any of this stuff is going to be. The poison right now, the only reason I want the poison is because I can't find anything else that breaks armor that quick. I keep looking and I can't. I tried doing the poison on the resonating shield and it doesn't work. I need to be able to break armor quickly in order to get my armor plating stacks and my thorn damage up. So it's, I don't know. And then the bleeding damage is just because I'm not focusing on my actual physical damage. So bleed, like, I have, like, I'm probably going to have a pretty decent, like, weapon or whatever to attack with. But if I can hit and apply a bleed, then I don't have to sit there and hit them the whole time. It slowly drains them. And my thinking right now is I'm trying to figure out if, basically he has access to all those bleeding trees, and I'm taking all these 5% chance to inflict bleed on hits. So this is 20% chance, and then this is I don't actually know if I care about this one, to be honest. I'd probably take these three, so this would be 25% chance, and then get the magnitude. And then this is 30, 35, 40, 45. Yeah, so I'd have like a 45% chance to bleed on hit, which then frees up my my little gem slot where I don't have to have it on my melee attack. Yeah, Merry Christmas, man. You have good.
You found a letter? For when I have the opportunity. War nights.
Well, I mean, I'm using warrior skeleton minions that everyone says are ass, and I'm making a build for warrior skeletons, so. Alright, man. I don't know anything about the affiliates and stuff. I get messages about it. But, I don't know. I just don't keep up with it half the time. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I probably should, but I just feel bad taking money for playing video games sometimes. I'm not a content maker, but maybe someday. Where the fuck am I going? Why do I have skill points that I'm not using? I don't even remember what I was doing on my minion build now. It's been so fucking long. Well, I mean, I've probably had it. I've had all that at some point in the past. I mean, I've had games where I've had a few hundred people watch me on a regular basis, but like the I don't know, 50 followers and stream, like the streaming the days and the hours and having the 50 followers I have, like it's fine. 3 viewers on average, I would have to like, probably what you would have to do is just cheat, bring like 3 computers and watch yourself, and then you'd be an affiliate. I want to make another minion build at some point. I want to make one that makes warrior skeletons that are super fucking tanky. Because this right here, regenerate 3% of their life per second. And then down here, so 4% of their life per second would be crazy. Yeah. The thing is like, I don't know. I only stream at this point just to like record my gameplay in case I need to go back and look at something, um but like you could pull up like if you have your phone, like a laptop, your phone and your computer or whatever, or just have like family members or whatever watch you when you're streaming, you'll get past 3. When I got big before, it was because I was using Restream. And so I was streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at the same time. But then Restream started fucking up, and I couldn't use it anymore. Well, probably because my computer's ass now. I mean, that's the way. I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to get the affiliate thing quicker. Yeah, natural's the way to go. My only thing with streaming is just how taxing it gets. Like, it might be because I've gotten burnt out on video games over the years, because, like, until I started playing Path of Exiles and stuff, I didn't really realize how burnt out I kind of have been on games. I don't play these ARPGs like this. Like, I played Diablo in the past, but the game is a lot more like Guild Wars was to me, like Guild Wars 1. But I'm in it for the storyline. Like, I like the story, and I like, helping people through like missions and shit. So like, if I was gonna stream something for fun, it would probably be games more like this. But like making content for people is so taxing. Like eventually, like when you get like a few hundred people following you, and every day you log in and you have to entertain them, it kind of wears you down, man. Like after a while, you have to have a plan. You have to have a game plan. Because like you'll see it, like you'll go in there and you'll be like completely like drained one day, like bored out of your mind, have no plans, and then like you'll just see your viewer count drop. And it hurts. Ugh, it hurts. Where the fuck am I going? Okay. Gotta go through this shit again. My thing is that I swap games a lot because I get bored. That's the other thing. If you like stream and you play like one game a lot, it's a lot better than playing like 6 games, because like people don't like watching other games that they don't play.
Ready yourself. We must prevail, no matter what.
I will end this, or die fighting.
Alright, let's do it, boys.
Face me!
Oh, dang right. That's how you play Skeleton Warriors, boys. I need to put my thing back on here, though. Where's that? Fortress. One wall isn't strong enough for these guys. Do it, put your back into it. Yeah, I see you, man. We should team up on Path of Exiles sometime. Although I don't know what I'm gonna do when Star Citizen 4.0 comes out, because like I don't play shooters all the time, but I feel like I'm obligated to play it.
Protection!
I don't recall these guys being here last time. Telling you. Like people say like high damage, you know, you'll get the... Actually, I hate all the necromancers that go out and they're putting firewalls everywhere and you can't see shit. Kills your frames, crashes your computer. People underestimate the old warrior. Like, this is a casual, you know, it's not fast, but it's casual. You're just kind of moseying on through. Oh, those fucking bugs, though. The flying shit is what gets you. But all you gotta do with the flyers is, like, break their aggro range. boys. Oh, the game crashed. Bug. The Dreadnought. In a land far, far away, in a caravan pulled by religious slaves, we kill everybody in theaters.
Protection!
Brought to you by Walmart. What the fuck? Because I disconnected, they spawned behind me. And you thought you were gonna pass my earthbending wall. Actually, if you think about it, if you're a fan of Avatar the Airbender, earthbenders could be necromancers. Like, legitly. Like, one, they can make rock golems and control them like a little puppet army. But two, I mean, because, like, you know, like, they have blood bending, right? They bend the blood in people's bodies and control their bodies. There's dust in the air. You just need an earthbender that can control the dust. And then, like, a dead body covered with dust.
Power! I'm not ready!
Defend your emperor. Oh shit.
Face me!
Happy I started picking up a shield. Yeah, go beat his ass, boys. Beat that ass.
Feel my wrath.
Gold cast cuffs. I really wonder if you can like farm some of these. Like, it'd be nice if you could farm some of these like white items and then upgrade them to the highest end gear just for like looks, so they're not like level locked. So if I want to use those gold cuffs on a like a cool suit. lot of dead guys.
Steel yourself!
Am I missing something, or is this guy still alive?
None shall pass!
I wish I could micromanage those archers and like put them on the side of my wall. Be great. Oh, those guys. need more. You think you're gonna Jon Snow it? Come at me? Fucking White Walker, my guy.
No challenge.
Oh god.
Feel my rock!
It'd be nice if my game didn't crash.
shall pass.
Infernal cry. Put infer.
Be cool if that persistent thing worked on walls. Do I not have a magnified effect? My intelligence drops somehow.
I'm not ready.
I don't know how I feel about that. 10-second cooldown? I mean, the wall seems to be more sturdy, but probably not good. %, more damage.
yourself!
Fuck. This mission, man.
None shall pass! Meek creature!
Bombardă gărăzbură.
I'm not ready. I need more time. I need more time.
Just not good. Sucks that I wasted that. Burning enemies you kill have a 5% chance to explode, dealing a tenth of their max health as fire damage. All damage is taken from mana before life. That would be crazy good. But to get all the way over here, I mean, we need increases and reductions to armor also apply to energy shield. Could come all the way across, I guess, but it's a long ways to go for that.
Despair is a curse that makes your enemies more vulnerable to chaos damage. This symbol indicates that a monster is resistant to chaos damage, while this symbol indicates that they're vulnerable. Skeletal reavers are aggressive skeletons that can become enraged. Command them to enrage, and they will become stronger and faster as they attack, but will be drained of life. Despair is a curse that makes your enemies more vulnerable to chaos damage. This symbol indicates
242 spirit. I don't even know what's going on there. Jesus. Okay, so I lose my ability to block. Not the best.
No chill pass!
You again. The fool under the hooded one's sway. Do you even know what he is? No matter.
Nope.
You'll find my king far more capable than Count Gianor. My king, take the power you were promised. Put an end to this nuisance.
The second Dora. Bow before your king.
The Medicaid must bow. Skin them.
The era of the Battlefield is now!
Submit. You are finished.
The era of the Battlefield is now! For my...
Oh, fuck. What do we do here?
The second Dora. Bow before your king.
The Medicaid must bow. King. Skin them.
Mother brother.
The second Bow before your king.
The Medicaid must bow. Skin them.
The Battlefield will pay! We will have what is ours! The era of the Battlefield is not! The Battlefield is now! For my people!
Protection!
Glorious.
Oh god, this guy can eat my dick. Shit. Listen up, boys. I'm gonna need y'all to go kick his ass real quick, alright?
The second Bow before your king.
The Medicaid must bow. King.
Finish
supposed to do to this? Holy shit.
For my people!
I need movement speed. I just don't think I'm strong enough to fight that dude at all. Let's get my ass kicked. How much damage is that doing? Duration is 8 seconds. So it's just a debuff. Bombards enemy inflicted by chaos damage over time debuffs. It says bombards. It's very difficult to use.
Protection!
Extremely difficult to use. I'm not sure if it's worthwhile. Go take a shower, I guess, here in a minute. And go see what's going on for Christmas.
Protection!
Oh, damn. Be great if there was a boss that like didn't crash my computer. You know what I'm saying?
Feel my rock! Out of mana. A rarity, and all mine.
Almost need to get rid of Essence Drain, to be honest. $27 to 49 chaos damage. I don't know. We could get rid of Infernal Cry. But I mean, that does hurt her. It's just very weird. It's a weird skill. Like, my mana's getting drained by something as well. Seems pretty good, it's just...
No mana.
Every time it crashes, it gets rid of all my walls and shit. So I don't get to use my stuff.
Lead shall pass!
Holy shit. It's hard to set up, but once it gets going, it's strong. Jesus.
Feel my wrath!
I don't even know if we need Infernal Cry. Because it's not ranged like that. I mean, it does good AoE damage. But the burn isn't as good. I would like to keep them all, but like I'm having some issues because I can't block and there's so many skills. I can't even focus on what I'm using.
Yeah.
It's not attacking anymore. So let's say that we do...
The second of the bow before your king.
The Medicus will bow king. We stand
The era of the Vanguard is now!
Why isn't it shooting?
We have vengeance! For my people! The Vanguard will pay! Of the desert!
Why isn't it working, is my question. Like, 40% more damage. Support any damaging skill that you use yourself.
The second of the bow before your king.
The Medicus will bow. We stand Submit. You are finished.
The era of the Vanguard is now!
movement speed.
The sick man of the Endure. Bow before your king. We will have what is ours. For my people, the era of the Falcon is now. The Manitans will pay. The Manitans will pay. Oh, God doesn't.
The fuck am I supposed to do? The thing is like it's hard to put up shield walls and do all the other shit.
The sick man of the Endure. Bow before your king. The era of the Falcon is now.
I probably should have lightning resistance rings on. Damn.
The sick man of the Endure. Bow before your king. Justice. Falcon is now for my people.
None shall pass!
For my people.
Kill the...
Let's go get some lightning resistance real quick.
How can I...
mad. I will tell your tale. Speak up. I will tell your tale. Take your time.
It's a lot of damage. It's a lot of armor. Cold resistance. 5,000 gold for it though. That's like just as much armor that's on a headpiece though. Plus 138 to armor. Oh, damn.
It is yours. Wear it with pride. Take care.
Plus 30 spirit. Let's keep that for now. Lightning! Basically maxed out.
tell your tale.
Now we're gonna have even more mana issues, though.
The second one. Bow before your king.
The Medicare bow to me. Submit. You are finished.
We will have what is ours. We are the storm. For my people. For my people.
We're running out of time.
That was unexpected.
Protection!
great if I could see. You have to oh my fucking god. You have to do all of it. All over again. Every time.
The second eye of the outdoor. Bow before your king.
Submit! You are finished!
The second eye of the outdoor. Bow before your king. The era of the Father Justice.
Fuck. No way there's a third phase.
Nothing. Oriana will prevail. Leviathan will rule the Vastiri.
What, he killed himself?
This is not over.
Oh, booed lady. I thought she
Not
was dead.
Yet.
I return you to the embrace of death! It is done.
So he stabbed himself with the spear to keep himself from doing something, and then she cut his head off? It's a cool looking helmet.
The war is over. I have given him an honorable death. This may prove to heal the wound between the Ferden and the Marrakech.
Honorable
Return
death.
with me.
She
I
cut his
must
head
address
off.
my people.
Literally cut his head off. Not a clean cut either, like a chainsaw cut.
What is it?
My worst fears have been realized. The beast is beyond our means now.
It is time for honesty.
You're right. I have not been entirely forthcoming. It is time I told you who I truly am. I am a god. I am the thief of virtue. I am sin. And I have failed once again. It was I who created the beast. The seed of corruption that now threatens to grow anew. And it is my responsibility. As it is my creation that once again threatens all of Rayclast, It is by my hand that it must be contained. All I can ask is that, knowing who I am, you still see the importance of our task. The beast has grown beyond our ability to contain it. We must search for something greater than we currently possess. Something that can drain its power and bring it back to a more manageable form. While I slumbered under the numbing effects of corruption, there was an empire that mastered the use of that deadly energy. We must go to the jungles of the long-ago Val. Their ruins may yet hold the secrets we need. That is where we must go, to the sunken city of Utsa. It is our only hope.
I don't know much of your history, but all I see is a good man.
How can I advise you?
Okay. So you're saying it's all his fault. And it's a god of... doesn't seem like a good god. Talk to Asatal, which doesn't seem to be an actual thing. This person.
Yes? Yes, we can take you to the edge of the desert. Then we will continue to track the beast. You must, until then.
The beast has grown too powerful. We can no longer contain it through mortal means. There was once an empire that embraced corruption. They studied it, mastered it, and became the greatest civilization the world has ever known. But it led to their destruction. Our allies will continue the pursuit of the beast. But we shall undertake a different search. We must go to the ruins of the Val Empire in search of a weapon against the coming cataclysm. Utsal is close. Be careful. How can I... Thank you.
Speed
This
isn't
looks
in
like
my
it'd be a
toolset.
cool looking helmet. This is the
From
helmet that
burning
my one guy
sands
needs.
to steaming bogs.
I will tell you.
That's not what I wanted to do, but whatever.
I will tell your tale.
Lead shall pass! They're swarming! I can't yet. Weakling.
This piece has an iconic history.
His isolation caused him to treasure their companionship all the more. 50 spirit. Life regeneration, 20% reduced mana cost of skills.
Young one. Do not wander.
Protection!